The modern man tutorials. The secret to pulling women without money, clout, fitness, good looks, house cars, all that extra shit. Right? The secret. The ultimate secret that I hold that most people don't when it comes to getting women. And the secret is psych, I'm not gonna tell you. No, I'm kidding. The secret is simple. They tell you all the time what the secret is. They literally say it. I'm currently watching Black Adam, so I got the whole idea of the Shazam, right? In my mind. So it's like, yeah, they kind of tell you all the time what the secret it is, right? The secret to the heart, as it were, right? The secret to getting them, right? To getting them to like you, to be with you, respect you, and all this stuff. And the secret is feelings. Feelings. Think about it. Every time you talk to them or interact with them, they be like, I feel like this, I feel like that. I feel like you're lying to me. I feel you don't understand. I feel this, I feel that. I feel comfortable with you. I feel like I could tell you anything. I've had way I had chicks tell me way too many personal things. And it's like I just said hi and you're already telling me your life story. Oh, but I feel, comfortable with you. I feel like I can tell you things. Yeah, I could tell you feel like you could tell me things, but you don't know me well enough to trust me with any of those things. But okay, you know, I'm a decent person. Right? I'm a good human being, so I do my best to earn right the respect that I get. Because it is weird that sometimes some people just trust me, just blindly trust me. It's like you don't know me, you know. Especially I see how most females are, or ladies in general, are with other guys. It's like y'all seem to not trust a lot of other guys, but for some strange reason you trust me. So I don't want you to lose that trust, right? I don't want you to, regret trusting me, of course. So I will do my best to earn that trust. I've been in some situations where I was trusted to do things that even I'm like, yeah, I would rather not do this because this is you know, this is too much trust, right? Oh man, the stories. And the funny thing is that okay, so I could tell this story. Some guys, trust me with their girlfriends, and I'm like, I don't know if I should take that as an insult or if I should take that as a compliment. Um, Me personally, I feel like it's somewhat of an insult. With the fact, because it's like, better safe than sorry, right? It's like you're trusting me. Why? You know. So, not that I would do something per se. It's just that it feels some type of I feel some type of way of like, okay, you trust me as if you know. The way I look at it is like you're kind of assuming that it's like you know, like I don't have the ability to do something or you know be able to smooth talk your girl into bed or something like that. So that's how I kind of feel. It's like, nah, if I want her, I can pull her. So I wouldn't recommend trusting me with her, because you don't know if I want her or not, right? So it's just, I'm just saying better safe than sorry. But I do my best to be respectful. But ironically, in those scenarios, it's not me that I'm too concerned with the whole like, them trusting. I'm like, oh, I trust you with my girlfriend. It's like, yeah, that's not what I'm really concerned about. I just feel a little disrespected, but that's not what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about is like the thing is you trust me, that's cool, but do you trust her? Because here's the thing, I don't trust her. That's the thing. You trust me with your girlfriend, but I don't trust your girlfriend with me. See the difference? It's like I don't trust her with me. especially if she's all for the idea, instead of her feeling weird, like, oh no, this feels weird, you know, the fact that she's all for being alone with me, even though she with you, so she got a man, but she has no problem being with me alone. That to me is suspect, and I've been proven right many of times. You can't trust uh, your ladies with me, you know, especially if they are are for the idea of spending time with me. So definitely don't trust them around me. You know, I don't plan to steal your girl from you, but don't be surprised if she plans to give give herself to me. So, and in those same types of scenarios, their girlfriends typically do flirt with me. I had scenarios where the guy's girlfriends would sit on my lap and whatnot in front of them, and then that's when they say stuff like that. Oh yeah, man, no, that's cool, man. I trust you. It's like this doesn't look right. You're saying you trust me, but she's literally sitting on my lap and she's moving around a lot on purpose. Like this is not a good look for you. To me, this is disrespect. It's like, well, to each their own. If they're if they're okay with it, they're okay with it. That's their business. It's like, okay, but if because I always put myself in the other person's shoes type of mindset. It's like I wouldn't be okay with this. I wouldn't be okay with my girlfriend you know sitting on some other guy's lap, moving around way too much. It's like I wouldn't be cool with that. So to each their own, but I wouldn't be cool with that. Right? I would see that as disrespect. So that's the kind of stuff that's out there. But that's the thing; it goes right to feelings, right? Like I was saying, it's like emotions is what they make 90% of their decisions based off of. 10% they'll use some common sense or some logic sometimes, but 90% of the time, the female gender uses their feelings. So even though you hear stuff about like, oh, I got standards and whatnot, it's like, okay, cool, but I I know a lot of the guys you've been with, and they don't meet your standards. And then your standards, it's not really your standards because they're not unique. I used the whole six figure, six pack, six figure thing. And it's like, if a lot of the chicks I see out here are saying the same exact thing, then it's not really your standard. If anything, it would be considered the standard or every chick standard. Because how is it your standard when every other chick has the same exact standard? So it's not your standard. It's not unique to you. When I say I have standards, my standards are unique, right? My standards are unique. Not too original per se, because there's probably like 30 other guys on the planet that's the same type of standards. But the point is that my standards is more rare than the typical chick's standard. Typical chick standard is very superficial. Mine's have some extra layers to my standards. Plus, my standards is just like a ceiling, so to speak. So I don't need a chick to be exactly perfect, right? As because no one's perfect, right? I just need her to be close enough. The closer she is to my standards, the better. Because then it's like, okay, you're close enough. I'll give you a shot. I'll talk to you. The further away you are from my standards, then the less chance you get, right? I'll still talk to you. I'll be nice and all, not an asshole. But at the same time, it's like already you're already on probation, as it were, right? You're already like like I'm not interested in you know in being with you because you're not really up to my standards. But I'll talk to you. See what happens. Maybe you can convince me otherwise, right? So, but a lot of times they tend to fail really quickly. So it's like, yeah, this is why I have my standards. It lets me know if I'm wasting my time or not. So that's the thing. It's like the closer you are to my standards, the uh less of less you'll be wasting my time. The further away you are from my standard, the more likely you're gonna just be wasting my time. Not only my time, but you also be wasting your time. So like I said, it's like back to the emotions, right? That's all you really need in order to get a chick. This is why you'll see guys that you'll be like, wait, that guy is ugly. Why is he with that hot girl or something? Or with it's like because of feelings. She chose him because of feelings. She didn't choose him because looks. Obviously, she didn't pick him because he has a lot of money, or he's famous or something, like, or that he's super tall, like, a lot of times, or he's in great shape. Like I used the most recent thing I've seen, which was the Sniper Wolf um, thing, where everybody's like she's hot. It's like she's average, but anyway, to each their own. It's like, oh, she's a 10, but she's with this guy who's like a 2, or blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, y'all don't think he's worthy of her, but he was still able to pull her. And a lot of you guys are not capable of pulling her. So clearly, there's something. Even though he looks a lot like most of you guys who be complaining that she's too good for him, and she's newsflash, she's too good for y'all. But anyway, right? He was still able to pull her. So what was the secret? Right? It was the secret sauce. How was he able to pull her when y'all think he's not worthy? Feelings, emotions. Just that simple, right? One common emotion, and again, ladies tell you, you know, basically ladies tell you what their weakness is, right? The emotions, right? It's their kryptonite. One of those types of emotions that is common to get women: laughter. You make her laugh, bang, you trigger her feelings. You made her happy. You made her laugh, which made her happy. Now, interesting enough, most different chicks have different sense of humor. So you gotta kind of be able to figure out what kind of sense of humor she's into. Some chicks are into a physical humor, so they tend to like guys who tend to be pretty goofy, pretty dorky, clumsy, you know, uh, who tends to be like, oh, my life is hard. It's like, oh man, I go through a lot of bullshit. Life is hard, type shit, and they just seem to like it, you know, because it's physical comedy, right, to them. They find it funny if he hurts himself. Like, she'll laugh, but then she'll be like, you know, she'll show that she cares. But her first reaction will be laughter. So think about it. Like, if he gets kicked in the dick, she'll immediately laugh, even though that's a fucked up thing to happen to him. The first thing she'll do, laugh. But then she'll show some compassion and whatnot. But she'll laugh. And then there's dark humor. So that's why you gotta understand that there's different types of humor, not just like knock jokes, or or uh, basic types of humor that you would consider. So there's dark humor. There's self-deprecation humor, right? Where you basically just making fun of yourself all the time. There's some chicks that are into that. Seems a little fucked up, a guy constantly making fun of themselves, and that's what makes her laugh. But hey, if it works, it works, right? Um, what's the other types of humor? There's sarcastic humor, of course. Um, there's intellectual humor. I tend to try to do that one the most. Try to make some jokes that hopefully the ladies can understand. Um, Pop culture humor, or at least some relatable humor. Political humor can be a good one. Um, you know, um, Making jokes that references anime. in case they're into anime or whatnot. Um, age, age jokes, age humor. I don't think there's a specific term for it, but it's the idea of making a joke that has to do with a certain time period. I tend to do that a lot. Like I'll tend to make a reference to something from the past, you know, and that tends to work out a lot um, with certain people, especially certain older people tend to appreciate those types of jokes. Even something as basic as "that's what she said." The number of times that I've made girls laugh was just repeating that phrase. That's what she said. That's what she said. It's the simplest, right? You would consider the corniest type of joke. Where it's like that's it. That's all you do. You just say that's what she said after somebody says something or she says something. You'll be like, oh, yep, that's what she said. Yeah, because it's about timing. Oh, sexual jokes, of course, right? Fart jokes, and the list goes on. There's like different types of you know jokes. But the main thing is that you're trying to say things that elicit laughter, right? Which is obviously is connected with good feelings, right? Making her laugh makes her happy. If it makes her happy, it makes her feel good. If it makes her feel good, then you get laid. Right? That simple. Like I said, it's not rocket science, but ironically, the way guys are nowadays, they do make it literally into rocket science. But emotions, the ladies always tell you, I feel this, I feel that. And then there's like opinions, like they're all about opinions, which to me is just lies. But whatever, to you sound right. What else? I mean, what else can I say? Right? Is there's a lot of different you know phrases that you can use to get them to like you. I mean, to get them to get into their feelings, right? And not all feelings have to be positive, because I've mentioned this before. Is you have to uh, just be able to trigger their feelings here and there. You can't make them overdose on on laughter. I've done this a couple times where I'll make like 2 to 3 jokes back to back and make a girl like laugh, but then I'll like tell like a serious story or like a sad story or something, or I might might say something a little disrespectful, right? And that will get them to go from happy to like what a little unhappy, and then all I have to do is just bring them right back to the happiness. Because the thing is, like I said, it's about the roller coaster ride of emotions. You can't keep them on one emotional setting for too long, because then they start getting numb to it. Then it starts becoming annoying. Like I said, like I used to. That's what she said. Yeah, after a while, that's what she said gets a little annoying, obviously, right? But you got to know how much, how many times you can get away with saying it, right? Of course, try different stuff. Don't just keep saying that's what she said. That's what she said. But give that a try, right? Give it a try. See if see if that works. Um, I did mention the whole sexual jokes, like because that's what she said. Basically, is a sexual joke, right? It's a sexual phrasing. You know, you could try other stuff like when somebody says something like, "Oh, I'm really good," and then you were like in bed, right? Just add in bed to the end of whatever they say. You were like, "Oh man, I'm so crazy in bed," right? You add that, and you complete their sentence by just saying in bed, and it makes it a little funny. Especially if they find it funny, then they find it funny. If they don't find it funny, obviously stop doing it, because it's just gonna be annoying. And the thing is, you don't want to be annoying unless that is your goal, is to be annoying, because being annoyed is a feeling. So if you're trying to annoy them, then so be it. Because I do that sometimes. I'll say something sarcastic or something annoying, or I try to be annoying, or an asshole, as they will sometimes call me, like, you know, and it's like, I'll be an asshole at first, and then I'll be nice and start, flirting and start saying some nice things and compliments and stuff and make some jokes and make him laugh. So I just do a combination. That's the thing. I was like, you don't want to be too predictable. You don't want to do the same thing all the time. You want to make a couple jokes here and there. You want to, throw a couple mean things per se, like a critique. You don't gotta be like an asshole, but hey, if you could throw in a critique, like you might, say that, it's like that the hairstyle doesn't look good. You were making her laugh the whole time, but then suddenly you point out that her hairstyle doesn't look good, or you think she'll be cuter. She'll be cuter with less makeup or something like that, right? You know how, especially on the internet, you know how most chicks hate the idea of being told about the whole makeup thing. Like, oh, I always tell me I look better without makeup. Well, you can use that to get them angry, and then throw in a couple compliments, and then throw in a joke, and that right there gives her a nice little roller coaster, little buffet of different emotions, and you know she'll definitely won't forget you, because she'll remember you're the guy who made me feel all these different feelings. Exactly, the guy that made you feel all these different feelings. He's gonna stand out among the other guys who only made her feel one of two feelings. She liked them or she disliked them. But you want to be the guy that she kind of likes, likes, love, hates, loathes, is pissed at, but would fuck, right? In love, but not in love, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to be the guy that's just like, it's complicated, right? Best way to put it. You want to be complicated. You don't want to be predictable, right? You don't want to be the guy she hates. You don't want to be the guy that she really likes, but it's too much, right? Crazy girlfriend type shit, right? You want to be complicated. I know I hear a lot of chicks say that a lot. Like when you ask them about the relationship, it's complicated, it's complicated, it's complicated. It's like, it sounds like y'all like complicated, so that's another secret. Other than emotions, be complicated. That's the end of the video.